Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is June 29th, 2022. So the top news story today is that R. Kelly has been sentenced to 30 years in prison for his sex trafficking charges. We've been covering this ritual since the beginning, but I want to take you back to September 20th when the prosecution rested their case against R. Kelly. And we're going to fast from that day to today. We're going to show how it's all been a big Jesuit ritual. On the 27th of September, they had their verdict. The original sentencing date was supposed to be on May 4th, but they changed it to today, which is all part of the ritual. Today is 56 days after May 4th. May 4th was the original sentencing date for R. Kelly. But let me just show you guys why today he was sentenced to 30 years, and then we'll go back to September 20th. So, notice, R. Kelly was born on January 8th, 1967. He's 55 years old right now. You can also say he's in 56th year of life. Society of Jesus equals 56, important number, 56. You're going to see it often in this video. But notice from his birthday to today's sentencing is 172 days. And that's a big number with the Jesuits because their motto, Isis Hominum Salvator, well, no. Ad Mariam de Gloriam equals 172. Isis Hominum Salvator is the motto, but that's not how the 172 connects in this case. Ad Mariam de Gloriam equals 172, and today's 172 days after R. Kelly's birthday. And notice he's been sentenced for his racketeering charges. And notice racketeering and sex trafficking is also 172. Right? So, see how that connects? 172 days after his birthday, the charges equals 172, and also connects to the Jesuits, right? Now, look, on September 30th, this headline came out by CNN, says that after nearly a month of testimony, prosecutors rest their case against R. Kelly, September 20th. And what is September 20th? Well, that is the 263rd day of the year. And what is 263? That's the 56 prime number. So all these dates that they chose to announce, the prosecution, the verdict, the sentencing, they are all relevant. And they are all connecting to the Jesuit order. Again, 263 is the 56 prime number, and Society of Jesus equals 56. This is why R. Kelly is being sentenced in his 56th year of life, 56 days after May 4th, which was the original sentencing date. Notice September 20th, that's also the day leaving 102 days in a year. We know words like the N-word is 102, slavery is 102. Notice the N-word is 30 and slavery is 30. This is why he got 30 years in prison today. Because the N-word is 30 and 42. Right? They use 42 and 30 ritualistically together all the time. I think I showed this when I was showing how the Martin show, they made their reunion. Their reunion just happened 30 years after they debuted in 1992. And of course, the 42 was coded all over that show because Martin lived in apartment 42. The name Martin is 42. I just found out that his next door neighbor in the show, Shanae, her name is also 42 and 30. And of course, the show takes place in Detroit, which is on the 42nd parallel. So they use 42 and 30 ritualistically all the time to shame black people. But those numbers, they are not used arbitrarily. Those numbers come from the Bible. Read into the 42 generations of Jesus Christ. But notice, right? So the prosecution rested their case on the day leaving 102 days in a year. The N-word is 102 and 30. And of course, he got 30 years in prison for these charges, right? It's like slavery. Now let's go to September 27th. That was the day that the verdict was announced. They found him guilty on September 27th. This was the big headline. R. Kelly found guilty. Notice that headline equals the same thing as the Catholic Church, 84 and 87. But what stands out about September 27th, that's the day that the Jesuit order was recognized by Rome. So, perfect day. Again, all these dates that they chose are all ritualistic, all connecting to the Jesuits. From the 20th, which being the 263rd day of the year, the 56 prime number. Then on the 27th, the day that the Jesuits were recognized by Rome, they announced the verdict. And of course today, which is 56 days after his original sentencing date, and 172 days after his birthday. But notice here, it says that sentencing is now set for May 4th. And keep in mind that R. Kelly was 54 years old at the time of his verdict. 54. We know Jesuit order to be 54. Because the Jesuits, they use the sun as their logo. And notice sun is 54. Notice the 18. R. Kelly was born on January 8th. IHS equals 18 as well. The Jesuits, they use the sun. I don't know why you can't see the picture in the back. But yeah, the Jesuits, they use the sun as their logo. I probably chose the wrong picture to upload on my page, but I think you guys can see that though. It's supposed to be a sun. I don't know why it's black like that. But yeah. So his original sentencing date was on May 4th, while he was 54 years old. Again, that number connects to the Jesuit order, right? Jesuit order 54, sun 54. Sun is also 18, like his birthday. IHS is also 18. This is what I meant by Isis Hominon Salvator. You know, the Jesuits' initials is IHS. IHS stands for Isis Hominon Salvator, which is also relevant here because, again, IHS is 18, and this guy's birthday is on 1/8. And remember, he had an album called R. R is the 18th letter in the alphabet. His birthday is January 8th, excuse me. This is where the song I Believe I Can Fly was released, this album. And notice the song I Believe I Can Fly is 266, like Isis Hominon Salvator. See? And to keep in mind that he got sentenced during the time of the 266th Pope, the first openly Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis. But yeah. So going back to the day that the verdict was announced. Again, his birthday is January 8th. And the day that the Jesuits was recognized by Rome was September 27th. And that was R. Kelly's 263rd day of his age, which is, again, the 56 prime number. And today happens to be 56 days after May 4th, which was the original sentencing date. And that is a big Jesuit number because Society of Jesus is 56. I know if you're new here, there's going to be it's going to be confusing at first. But what we're trying to show you guys is how, you guys, if you're not awake, you're going to think that R. Kelly is really a sexual predator. You're going to believe what the news is telling you. But what the news does to these black entertainers is that they shame them ritualistically by the numbers. And if you keep track of the dates that they announce the news and you measure to the people's birthdays and stuff, you're going to realize how ritualistic it all is, because these numbers get used again and again the same way. They get used. It's like they get recycled with all these celebrities. They use the number 56 with all of these stories, mostly all these stories. I mean, the term Black Lives Matter is also 56. If you're into rap music, the rapper Young Thug, he just got indicted on 56 RICO charges. He's part of the YSL crew. YSL equals 56. They use these numbers again and again. And once you recognize the numbers, you see how often they used it. Yesterday, they came out with the news that Elmo, the Muppet, got the COVID vaccine. And of course, coronavirus is a big 56 ritual. And it happened yesterday on a day with 56 numerology. You see, the Jesuit order, they use their numbers over and over. They like to recycle their numbers with these black celebrities, especially. All celebrities get the same treatment, but when it comes to black celebrities, there's a group of numbers that they like to use the most, like the number 102, like the number 30. So once you start recognizing these numbers and you keep track of the dates that the news is being announced, like the prosecution resting on September 20th, and then you notice that it's the 263rd day of the year, the 56 prime number. And here's a story about a black man being accused of some evil sexual behavior, which is all not true. None of this stuff is true. This is all ritualistic. It goes back to the Bible. Shaming the black man. So they do the same. They did the same thing with R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby. I mean, these are millionaires, you guys. These people do not need to behave this way. A lot of you think that, oh, it's true because the news. Just because the news is saying it does not mean it's true. None of you can prove that R. Kelly did any of this. All you have is what the news is telling you. That's the only thing you have. But again, they use the same numbers. And, let me show you something about the color orange. They keep showing R. Kelly in this orange jumpsuit. That's also ritualistic. Notice orange is 102 and 30. I forgot to leave that out. I left that out of there. But orange is the same thing as the N-word. You guys, look. Right? And think about, how do you get to put on that orange suit? Well, you have to get arrested by the police first, right? Notice police, the N-word, and orange are the same in 3. Well, police and orange is the same in all 4 ciphers. But these 3 words are the same in 3 out of the 4 base ciphers. Police, the N-word, and orange. And it's usually the police who puts black people in these orange jumpsuits. This is why I know in almost all the photographs, you see R. Kelly dressed in orange. This is all part of the ritual. Orange is 102 and 30. The guy just got 30 years in prison for having sex with women who probably wanted to have sex with him. Again, I'm not confirming that the woman had sex with him, but if this did happen, this is all planned. And those women were told to do it. Okay, R. Kelly did not approach these women and force them. None of that stuff is true, man. It's disgusting what they do to these celebrities because these people are very talented. A lot of people probably love this man's music, but this is what they do. They give them the big records, and then they tarnish their careers with these evil criminal acts. Same thing they did with Michael Jackson. Such a great talent in the music industry. But, they had to put that in there that he likes to molest children. They had to throw that in there just to tarnish his career, tarnish his legacy. Same thing they're doing with this man right here. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had an unbelievable career. But what they do, they take away his father and have him win the championship on Father's Day. They just can't just go out on top. They have to sprinkle in some of that evilness in you, Especially if you're a man of color. And, the real predators, the real sexual predators are, members of this group right here, which I can't say. Those are the real sexual predators, and you will never see them in the headlines. What a ritual, man. What a ritual. 30 years. Another black man shamed. And the bad part about all this is that the people of this man's color are usually the ones attacking him and saying, "Oh, I knew it. I knew R. Kelly was a predator. I knew he was. I knew it all the time." It's usually the people of our own race that to fall for this stuff. It's just like, you guys don't use common sense. This guy has millions of dollars. He doesn't need to force women to do anything. You guys think Kobe Bryant? You think guys think Kobe Bryant raped that woman in Colorado? Come on, you guys gotta be kidding me. And these people, when they make their documentaries, they tell you, like, don't believe him. You guys saw the R. Kelly documentary when he sat down with he did an interview recently. It was a couple of probably like a year ago. Big interview. I forgot what it was. I forgot the name of it, but he was telling you, like, look, don't believe what they're saying. You know what I think? I think these celebrities, they know what they did. They signed their life away. They can't tell people what's going on, but they could. I think they could hint in trying to tell people what's going on. I think that's what I've noticed that from a lot of these celebrities. They throw out these hints hoping that people will catch on and realize that there's a deeper entity behind all of this. But yeah, people don't really realize it. It's just like, and notice the article, they bring up the song "I Believe I Can Fly." It's because it has the gematria of 266. R. Kelly had a bunch of records, but they wanted to remind us that he made that one record. It's because of the gematria. So sad, 30 years. So if you didn't get to see R. Kelly in concert, you will never see him in concert again, at least for the next 30 years. So he'll be releasing in 2052. He'll be 85 years old. And speaking of 85, look, speaking of, what is it? Isis Hamana Salvatore that equals 85? Yeah. Speaking of Isis Hamana Salvatore, IHS, R. Kelly will be 85 years old when he will be released from prison. But I'll end it there. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and